Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they actually love, or create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You guys jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. William is going to start this hour off in Dallas, Texas. Hi, William. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
Better than I deserve, man. What's up?
Yeah, I got a question about a prenup. I've listened to a lot of your clips. Some of them kind of applied, some of them didn't. But basically, I own a business and have done well. I own some properties, and there's definitely a large gap between me and my fiance.
What's your net worth?
Net worth, property values are probably like 1.4. Only have 230 in debt on those. And then in cash, I probably got like 750.
What's your business worth?
$7 million.
Okay. So you're a $10 million guy, and she has a more traditional, normal net worth. She's not a freak like you.
I guess not, no.
You're a good freak, though. I like you. So it's good. You're the right kind of freak, man. I'm just saying. All right.
Right on.
Yes, I would get a prenup.
Okay.
I don't believe in prenups. I tell 99% of the people not to get them. The only time in 30 years of coaching that I've run into a situation where I wished someone had had a prenup was where there was a vast disparity between the two people getting married. And 99% of the time, the problem doesn't end up being with the two people. It's not your fiance. It's weird dadgum people in her family that come out of the woodwork and screw up everything. And if she can just hold up the hand and go, nope, can't, I got a prenup. I got nothing to say about that. I got nothing. Because all of a sudden they're like, woohoo! Little JoJo married William. Yeah, let's go visit. You know, I mean, this is what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do, yeah.
And that's and bless your heart, your fiance didn't see it coming because she did not think crazy was going to manifest itself that way in her extended friends or family, and so and it ends up screwing up your all's relationship. The prenup actually assists the relationship in this case. So. But for everyone else, I just say no. If you have to have a prenup to protect your $4, then you don't need to get married.
Correct.
Now, what happens if, your fiance, your girlfriend, what does she think about it?
So that's an issue. She thinks that I, quote unquote, love my money more than her. She's not thrilled, or at least at the beginning wasn't thrilled. And so I basically, because in Texas, everything is common property once you get married. And so then it all gets split. So I had pretty much what I had structured was, separating everything and then maybe giving her like, for every year we're married, if anything were to happen, she would get a certain amount per year, So I guess my next question would be.
I would not do that. And I would explain to her that this is as much for her benefit as it is yours because of what I just described a few minutes ago. This releases her. No one of your friends are going to be suspicious that she married a gold digger. None of your family is going to think that she has bad motives. This helps her. And if you want to restructure or do away with the prenup at any point in your life, you can do that.
Okay.
You can just go back into the attorney, the two of you sit down and go, you know what? I'm going to release $5 million over here. But if you do a set thing on the number of years, the year that kicks in will actually accidentally coincide to the roughest year in your marriage.
Right.
And you will have that roughest year. You know that. So, I mean, why complicate it?
That's true.
Yeah, and you can go in and change it anytime. But I think I like her being beyond suspicion with all of your friends and relatives, for that matter, her friends. And she also gets to hold up the hand to her crazies that come along.
Mm-hmm.
And go, look, it's William stuff. And then now, having put the prenup in place, that's the legal move, then I would begin to run the relationship as if you own it all together.
That's the key right there. I think that's the key that makes it all good.
So in other words, if I were you, I'm going to talk to my wife before I make a big business move.
Mm-hmm. So that she's included. This is not just, hey, this is all my mountain over here. You have no access. You don't get to speak about this. Yeah.
That's not what we're saying. We're saying if this whole thing hits the wall, you don't get any of this. Mm-hmm. That's all we're saying. But that's different than you don't get to speak over it, because you want her to speak over it. Proverbs 31 absolutely. Is, who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain. I have made more money and built more wealth while listening carefully to my wife who has a home ec degree and unbelievable hillbilly wisdom.
Now let me ask another question on your behalf. So your business is worth $7 million now. The prenup is only covering the current value.
No, it would cover the ownership of the business. Period. Regardless of what it becomes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the way I would build it. You can word it that way. You don't have to put a dollar amount on it. That's
interesting though, because if they get married and now she's speaking into the business is growing, and she still is not. I'm not going to lie, that's a tough one for me.
Okay, let me tell you. She is completely, I'll help you. She's completely benefiting. Mm-hmm. If this business is worth $14 million later instead of $7 million, she's going to be eating off that table.
That is right.
She gets to fly in that airplane.
But if something happens, even the growth is no longer up for debate.
But again, he can go back and rechange that later.
He can.
And if he looked up and said, look, the reason this business went from $7 million to $25 million is she has really contributed, then you could just remove some of the prenup.
That is true. That's true.
Now, I'm going to run your relationship and your household and all of your business decisions as if she was there when it all began. Yeah. And this is my child bride wife that we got married when we were whatever.
Don't say
little baby children's. I mean, like Sharon and I got married at 22. We were like baby children.
That's Sam and I too. Yeah.
And so we were little children's children. So we got, we were both dumber than a rock. And so we grew the whole thing, crashed it, and then grew another one together.
Yeah,
right. And so there's no question about that. Yeah. She owns it. Matter of fact, she technically owns most of it. So, but the point being, I'm gonna run the relationship in a way that you don't lord over her assets or income. She completely participates in those, and so we have an income from our business, unless we're divorced. And then it's not.
And then your boy
business.
gets it.
Well, that's it. I mean, it only
turkey toenails.
The prenup only comes up if there's a problem, right?
Yeah.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Okay, let's clear something up. If you listen to the show for 10 seconds, you know we hate debt. And some people just, for some reason, don't hear that. I don't know. They think you need debt and credit cards to build your credit because you need a credit score to buy a house, right? Wrong. Truth is, if you're living a debt-free lifestyle, eventually you won't have any credit score. So when you're ready to buy a house, you got to find a good lender like Churchill Mortgage who can do what's called manual underwriting. And that's where they personally review your financial history to approve you for a mortgage. Like we did before there was a FICO score. We actually made sure you had a freaking job and stuff. So, wow.
What a concept.
Yeah. So this way you get to avoid the whole credit score game where you borrow money to raise your score so you can borrow money so you can raise your score so you can borrow money so you can raise your score so you borrow money so you can raise your score so you borrow money. Sounds like fun if you're a bank.
Or a dog chasing its tail.
That one too, you know, which are usually dizzy. No pun intended. It might sound crazy to some people, but the best plan for your future is avoid debt. Get a real estate agent who will help you find a house you can actually afford, get it paid off as soon as possible. And we recommend agents who are Ramsey trusted. These are agents that are high octane, high protein. They didn't get their license last week, and they're not your Uncle Charlie who's guilt tripping you. This is your freaking house. It's the largest asset you have. So you can buy a house without a credit score, and you can work with an absolute professional, and you need to. RamseySolutions.com/agent to get a Ramsey trusted real estate agent. RamseySolutions.com/agent. Nathan in Oklahoma City, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, just got a question for you. So I'm 28 years old, and I just hit baby step 7 about 7 months ago.
Boom!
Wow.
Thank you. And I'm currently rebuilding my emergency and stuff because I deleted my accounts for being debt free. And I'm just kind of curious where to go now because I'm kind of lost with the whole where to invest my money right now.
What accounts did you hold on? What accounts did you delete?
Well, my checking and my savings.
Okay.
I cleared them all so I could be debt free, pay off the house.
Okay.
And now that I'm 100% debt free, I've got my 6 months emergency saved, and now I am investing in my. I have 2 Roth accounts, one through work, and then a Roth IRA.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And then I do 10% in my TSP.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, I'm just kind of saving money and living life every day, really. But I need a goal, and my goal is to get more money, but that seems really kind of boring, honestly. I mean, just to do it that way. And I'm not 100% sure if that's doing the right thing.
You're in danger. Nathan, you're in danger.
Okay.
You're in danger of messing all this up.
Gotcha.
Because the fastest way to get rich is boring.
Uh-huh.
And if you go screwing around with get rich quick trying to be cool, you're going to lose all of the progress you have made. And you got
Gotcha.
One of the things I ran into when I first started coaching wealthy people years ago was they had this latent guilt. Like, I've got $2 million, but I don't feel like I'm doing it right. Like, there must be something sophisticated. These smart people are doing stuff I don't know how to do. And they're the ones with the $2 million. And they're doing very simplistic, primitive, basic things. And they got wealthy. But they certainly did not buy crypto.
Right.
They certainly are not doing nothing down tic-tac real estate.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to get rich quick. They're not trying to do a double helix backflip family partnership that they read about on Instagram because it's a surefire way to lose your butt's what it is. Come on.
Yeah.
So just slow, the tortoise and the hare. The hare was the sexy, cool one. He lost the race.
Uh-huh.
The tortoise was ugly and steady and predictable and boring.
Right.
Please be boring.
Well, now, Dave, all of us tortoises don't have to be ugly now.
You done got personal, Dave. Well, yeah, no, and seriously, but the point being, the plan is all of your smart friends who are broke but wear clothes they can't afford, drive cars they can't afford, and go on vacations they can't afford. All of your smart friends will make fun of your tortoise plan.
That's right.
But they're the sexy hares. They're the ones the rabbit that's cool. They like all the look. You know, they look like they got it all together, and they got nothing, nada.
It's almost like
Got a headache. That's all they got.
It's almost like we want there to be like this secret of the wealthy that only a few people can get their hands on. And
Well, I really wanted that because I'm really smart at math. And so I knew if it was complicated and difficult, I could do it.
That must be it.
That I would be able to do it. And so just show me the complicated double backflip barrel of fish hooks, and I'll get it. I'll be able to do it. Pride comes right before the fall.
Right before it. Nope. Any Joe can do it. You just got to be steady, boring.
You know, now
what you
can do is you can pay very close attention to your accounts and just go, okay, yeah, I'm going to be steady, but I'm also going to make sure that sucker's maximizing.
That's right. That is
true. I'm not
true.
going to be ADD. I'm not going to take my hand off the wheel. I'm going to drive straight through, but I'm going to be very diligent and go, okay, this accounts for this accounts for that, and I'm goal oriented, and those are things that you are, Nathan, that are very good. And obviously, I was being a little bit dramatic to make sure you got the message, but you've done very well.
Now, I would also say in his situation, we recommend everybody work with a SmartVestor Pro or somebody with their investments. But a guy like him really needs that accountability to not get like, oh, the market's being weird, or I feel like my guy told me about this thing over here. I need to be trying.
He's not going to function in fear. He's going to make bad decisions out of greed.
Well, that's
why I was stopping him on, because I know that guy because I was him.
Yeah.
Because I'm smart. I don't. This is too slow. You know, and that's about the time you're about to step on it. So just you're gonna get something on your shoe. Jonathan's in Lexington, Kentucky. Hey, Jonathan, what's up?
Hi, Dave. Thank you guys for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
I'm getting my way through these baby steps, and I'm trying to think of ways to get through faster. I've also developed my career goals and educational goals, and I just wanted your opinion. I have a project car that I've had for about 3 years now. Haven't been able to get much done on it, and I'm wondering if I should sell it. So just wondering what you guys think.
I'm not sure, but I think in the 30 seconds we've been together, you told me your goals have changed.
What do you mean?
What? Like from the time 3 years ago when you bought this car, you had a goal of doing a project car. And I think today you don't have the same goal. You have other goals that are a priority over the car.
Yeah, I absolutely love this car.
I didn't ask that.
As much as it should be.
I just said your goals have changed. I probably love the car, but I don't have a goal of owning it because I don't even know what it is yet, but I probably like it. What is it?
It's a 1986 Z31 Nissan 300ZX.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. What are you doing to it? What are you supposed to be doing to it?
Well, it's pretty solid mechanically, but ever since I've owned it, I've let people drive it, and it's gotten pretty dinged up and depreciated. So basically, I wanted to do a rebuild, but I'm trying to pay off this debt.
Yeah, but it's a body rebuild. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think the car served its purpose. I thought I heard you say that in between all these other things. I have new educational goals. I have investment goals. I have these other goals. When I bought the car, I didn't have those goals. Now I've got some competing goals, and the car's further down on the list. Did I hear that?
That's it. Your priorities changed. Car went down the list.
Is that right, Jonathan?
Yeah, and also the time and effort it would take to, get it done.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'd rather be working on my educational goal.
There's your answer.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. I thought I heard that in there. Yeah. There's project car on every corner. Most people drive project cars. So, yeah. Sell it just because you'd rather do other things, I think. This is the Ramsey Show. Hey, folks, you know that sinking feeling When you make an offer on a house you love and then you hear there's another offer? You need the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge. Super fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate, plus a $5,000 seller guarantee gives your offer the best chance of being accepted. The Home Buyer Edge from Churchill gives you an advantage over those other guys. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more. Thank you for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Tara is in Houston, Texas. Hi, Tara. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay, so I have been working the program for a while. I'm on baby step 2, so I'm still paying off some debt. I am almost 39 years old. I've never had a 401k, and the company that I work for just approached me with that. They do match 100% up to 3%, and then up to 6% they match 50%. So my question is, I still have about $40,000 in debt to pay, but I wasn't sure if I should go ahead and start putting in the 401k since I'm so far, I'm so far behind. So I feel like I'm going to be playing catch up. And since I don't have anything, starting from zero. But I don't know if I should take that money and you start putting it in now or wait until my $40,000 is completely paid off.
So we get people who call in all the time, and they have done what you want to do. They've just went ahead and started investing, not built their savings, not paid off their debt. And then an emergency comes and suddenly their 401k becomes their emergency fund. That's thing number one. So I'm just going to give you a couple of thoughts to just let them sink in on why this is not a good idea. And honestly, if you're following our plan, the way we teach is you pause. If you're currently investing, you pause, take that money. In your case, you weren't already. So you've got all of your income at your disposal to pay off this debt. You've got $40K left. Keep moving through this. And then when the time comes, you're going to be able to take advantage of that.
How much have you paid off already?
I've paid off around almost $6,000.
$6,000.
And I could have 6,000, and I could have done more. I haven't been.
How long have you been working on that?
About 4 months. And
what do you make?
My salary is $95,000 a year, and I get about $20,000 to $30,000 in bonuses.
Okay.
Where's all your money going to?
I know it's going on. Well, my debt and two car payments two cars is where it is.
Why do you have two cars? Is it
because I went through a divorce and I had one car payment and I ended up giving it to my daughter who is 16 and bought myself a new car.
Oh,
and that's how I got in the trap of two car payments.
And so you have $40,000 in debt, and how much of the 40 is cars?
38.
Oh,
and what do you owe on your car?
28 on mine and 10 on hers.
Okay. All right. And she's 16.
She's 18 now.
18. Is she working?
She is.
Okay. All right. So the plan that we teach, don't start investing until you're out of debt, assumes that you're going to lean in and get out of debt with great focused intensity that you don't have.
Right.
Okay. You're playing footsie with this idea. You haven't leaned in and said, I'm selling everything in sight. Mm-hmm. I'm getting out of debt. I'm sick and tired of being broke. I make $90,000 a year. I got nothing. I'm 39. I'm scared. I'm going to go get me some. And I'm going to get my debt cleaned up yesterday. I'm not going out to eat. I'm not going on vacation. And please don't talk to me about a new purse. You are getting out of debt. And you're not at that level. You're just kind of intellectually exploring this. You've not emotionally engaged it. Is that fair?
It is.
Yeah. So
that's
why this seems appealing to you, to go ahead and jump into the 401k, because it feels like you're going to be in debt forever, and it feels like that because you're going to be in debt forever.
Right.
Unless you change. Mm-hmm. So you can do whatever you want to do. Obviously, you're a grown-up lady. You've got a great intellect. You can do a lot of things. You can go be normal and start the 401k while you try to limp out of this debt and keep making these same mistakes. Or if you're going to work our plan, which is, you called us, so that was your mistake. Because we love you, and we are going to tell you the truth. And so
that's right. And you're tripping right now.
Yeah. So 18-year-old is going to save up $3,000 in the next couple of months and buy a car, and we're going to sell her car. Mm-hmm. You're going to sell your car, and we're going to get you out of debt in a few months. Probably by Christmas, you're going to be driving a couple of $5,000 cars, and you'll be debt-free. Build your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses, then save up and get you a little better car, and you're 100% debt-free but the house at this point, and then you can start putting, by this time next year, easily, you'll be putting 15% of your income away for retirement. And if you put 15% of $90,000 away from age 41 to age 65, you will have several $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But if you keep doing what you're doing now, you're going to have nothing except rusted cars with payments on them.
We had a girl in my Financial Peace University class, which, by the way, if you haven't taken that, you need to get signed up for that. She was your age. She had about $19,000 left to pay off. She was so worried that she was not going to have anything in retirement because she had not started investing. Right then and there, we walked through the financial roadmap plan, and we were able to show her that by the time she pays off her debt, if she just puts the 15% away, she was going to retire with $2 million.
You'll be at more than that,
and you'll be at more, because I remember what her income was. But
you start saving 15% of $100,000, and you do that for over 25 years. That's about $3 million. I mean, and that's if you don't get a raise, mm-hmm. and you're going to get raises.
You've got time.
So you've got time, but you don't have time to keep doing what you've been doing. Because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, which is embracing car payments, because car payments are a way of life, and I have to have a good car because I'm a divorcee and I'm scared to death the car is going to break, and I have to have a good car for my kid because I'm scared to death my daughter, obviously she's female, is going to have a breakdown,
right
and
on the side
I'm
of the road.
Scared, and I'm scared, and I'm scared, and I'm scared, and I'm scared, and so I'm paying car payments on $40,000 worth of cars while I make $90,000 and I'm broke. That's what that fear is doing to you. Yeah. And so, and by the way, I'm not asking you and the 18-year-old to drive $3,000 to $5,000 cars for the rest of your life. I'm asking you to drive them for a chapter in your life so that you never have to drive them again. Mm-hmm. I can assure you, I did not drive a $5,000 car over here today. Quite the contrary. I drive whatever I want these days. Mm-hmm. But I paid a price for the last 35 years by staying out of debt and only buying things I could afford. And then I've got the money.
I hear that.
That's the way it works.
Look.
So, live like no one else so later you can live like no one else. You're a sharp lady, Tara. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for joining us, and apologize for picking on you, but just know it's because we love you and we want you to win. And but because Jade, there's something, and we just got a minute for the break, but it's very smart to say this. That you cannot sort of do things that require you to transform your life. Mm-hmm. If you want to create transformation, you have to push yourself over to the edge of extreme.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to do really whacked out weird things, and then once you've reset your life, you reset the grooves in your brain, your habit patterns, your spiritual beliefs. Once you've reset those things by doing the extreme, then you can do something less extreme, much less extreme, and still stay on track. But, in other words, if you're 350, 400 pounds and you want to lose weight, you have to shock your system by doing extreme things.
Yeah, you throw out all the cupcakes, you throw out all the crap in the cabinet.
For a period of time. You can't touch anything that looks like that, or that. For a period of time, you got to go over there. Now, later on, if you're 180 pounds, you can have a cupcake. but I'm not suggesting debt at that point. I still don't do debt.
Right.
But I mean, my point is you can breathe a little bit, be a little bit more normal. But I'm suggesting, Tara, that we push you over to the extreme and you do weird, uncomfortable things for a bit to get yourself on track permanently.
You manage your habits. Yeah, that's good.
This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Courtney's in Atlanta. Hi, Courtney. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for taking my call today.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, so I have fallen into the student loan conundrum. All of my debt is in student loans. I'm 30 years old. I have about $300,000 in student loans, and I am engaged. Have been for the past 3 years because we are scared to get married. Because of the debt, we are nervous to buy a home. We are currently renting, and we want to get free. We are completely new to you and your show and your plan. So we just want to go.
I understand why you're scared with $300,000 in student loan debt. Why does that affect getting married?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I guess.
Well, it did. You told me you've been waiting 3 freaking years.
Right. So I guess neither one of us just want to go to the courthouse and get married, but
you want to be able to pay for something nicer, is what you're saying?
Right. But
are you a doctor or a lawyer?
I'm actually a pharmacist.
What are you earning?
100.5?
Actually, it's more like 122, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Gross.
Does that feel low?
It's a little low, but you're starting. You just got out. So,
correct.
How long have you been out of school?
For the past 3 years.
Okay. All right.
What's his situation?
I got an undergrad degree before I actually went into school, pharmacy school.
What does he make?
He makes 60, and then he also gets bonuses.
Does he have a bunch of debt too?
He actually has no debt, and he has very minimal credit history. So we actually did seek out, mortgage pre-approval, and we got it, but it was basically
you don't need to buy a house. You're broke.
So let me tell you a story.
That's where we're at.
Let me tell you a story. My husband and I had $280,000 of student loans, a little less than you, but if you add our credit cards in, we are call it 300.
Yeah, no credit cards for us.
My point is, your income is a lot better than ours was back then, at least to start. And for you guys, it doesn't matter. Like Dave said, getting married is not the issue. Matter of fact, go ahead and get married, work on this thing together, and go through it together. And you're just going to have to walk through these steps and commit to the fact that we've got this debt here for a couple of years. We're living on nothing to get this paid off. Luckily, you guys have got a good shovel. You've got a good income, and that's it. It's just the student loans, right?
And Courtney, you feel stuck, don't you?
I really do.
And you feel a little bit ashamed to marry him, and hand him $300K.
Yeah.
Like you're going, this is pretty serious dowry here. Yeah. That's an old word, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's, so it is messing up, not getting married, but it's messing up your view of yourself and your relationships. And it's
also difficult to budget because, we want to have one bank account.
You don't need to have one bank account until you're married.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let me project a future for you that you haven't seen. Let's run some numbers for a second. Okay. Go get married this weekend. No, just ride with me on my little trip here, okay? Just for a second. It sounds absurd, but you've been dating for 3 years. You've been engaged forever. We'll celebrate in other ways later. Now, if I calculated correctly, you make 122, he makes 60. That's 182. He has no debt. We have now one house to support, one set of rent, one set of heat and air, one set of electricity, one set of water, one set of things in the refrigerator. You with me?
Right.
So your living costs go down approximately in half.
I also have a car payment.
Oh, what do you owe on your car?
20.
Okay, we'll put that in the story too. Okay. Now, so you make 122, he makes 60, and he has bonuses on top of that. What do you think he'll really make in the coming 12 months, including his bonuses?
Probably maybe 170 maybe 70 with the bonus.
Okay. And I know this about you. You may not, but you can pick up pharmacy duty in the ER at the local hospital on the weekends, and you can make another 25 or 30 if you put in a whole bunch more hours than you're putting in as a temporary measure. Okay? And so now I'm at 155 and 70. So I think I'm doing 2 1/4 now. Anybody with me here? I got $300,000 in student loan debt, and I'm going to take my 2 1/4 and I'm going to live on 50. That leaves me 175 minus taxes to put on the 300. You're debt free in 2 years.
Just by picking up extra hours.
Picking up extra hours, living together, married,
on 50,
and spending no money. You're not eating out. You're not going on vacation, and you're sure as crud not buying a house. We might be selling your car,
right,
to get a cheaper car. But the goal here is to get free, because otherwise we're stuck. We want to get free so we can buy a house and live a great life together and build wealth.
And have kids.
And have kids and be generous. But right now, you can't see that because you've got Mount Everest stuck between you and hope.
Right.
And I just took Mount Everest apart with a pickaxe. In 2 years, I did that.
Right.
But I'm telling you, it's going to be a really hard 2 years, because all the little luxuries you're accustomed to, none of them. You get nothing. Don't you dare see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there.
Yeah, so
tuna fish
I did have a second,
and day-old bread.
I agree, yes. So I guess the biggest thing was I did hear several of your advices to other people, just being like, don't rely on public service loan forgiveness. Do it yourself.
I just got you out of debt in 2 years. Why would you even bring that up?
Right. Well, because I guess my fiance sees it as a way out.
It's not a way out. It's a 10-year lie. You know what percentage of the public service loans forgiveness actually get forgiven? Less than 2%. 98% get screwed by this plan.
Right.
Think about the way you're feeling right now. Do you want to feel that for the next 10 years? Waiting on something that likely won't happen.
Yeah, the reason he wants you to plug into that, he doesn't think there's another way. But you guys make a lot of money together.
You sure do.
And you can make even more and spend none of it and throw it all at the student loans and kill that sucker. Mm-hmm. $150 a year for 2 years out of 2 1/4, and you're free.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be done in 2 years. It took my husband and I 7.5. Put that in perspective. Okay. And we rented the whole time, so
and you had
let
babies.
That make you. And we had that was after the fact.
I know.
But for you, 2.5 years. It wasn't after the 7
years, was it?
Yeah, it was after the 7 years.
You didn't have any kids after 7?
We waited. Okay. We rented for. Here's the stats. We rented for 10 years, and waited for 11 years to have kids.
Wow.
Yep.
Because it was doing to her what you thought it was doing to you before this phone call.
Right.
Now I might be off by a year. Mm-hmm. But whoopee.
And that's fine.
3 years. Whoopee. Mm-hmm. I might be off by another year. You might do it in a year and a half, because you guys just go bananas, and your husband goes, hey, game on. I'm working 24/7. We're getting done. Get married this weekend and kill this debt, girl. Do it.
Well, I appreciate your advice. I feel like
she's not going to do it. She's
No,
not
do it.
going to do
Please
it.
do it. Please do it.
Everybody in America just heard that. You are not. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for calling, Courtney.
Please do it. Please prove us wrong.
Oh, hey, if you don't do it after this, you know whose fault it is, Courtney? Yours, because we have done our job. Thank you for calling, kiddo. Oh, my goodness gracious, that just happened with 22 million people agreeing. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones here at 888-825-5225. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jade just finished leading a Ramsey Personality Coordinator FPU class.
That's right.
And that's the second time you've done that.
That's right.
As a Ramsey Personality. You've done it many times before you joined us here. Went through it several times before you joined us here.
Yes.
And I think it's a good idea occasionally to stop and say, okay, if you're going to go through a 9-week class on how to handle money, the class that more people have gone through than any other financial class.
Right.
Over 10 million people have been through it. No one's even a close second. So it is.
It is the one.
It's the GOAT. It's number one, right? And so there we go. And but why do so many people go through it? What happens while you're in there? And you just led this class, so give me some insights as a coordinator. You watch the light bulb come on over the top of people's heads.
I do. I watch people get introduced to concepts that they haven't thought about before, or it hasn't been explained to them why it's important. For example, everybody knows the word insurance. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have health insurance. I got car insurance. But most people are so confused about insurance. They don't understand how much coverage they need. They're underinsured. They don't realize that.
Or they're overinsured.
Or they're
overinsured. Crappy insurance.
Yeah. And a lot of folks, when they first get connected with Ramsey, they're like, oh yeah, I heard about the baby steps. I'm on baby step 2. I need all my money. Insurance can wait so I can pay off my debt. And that is one of the biggest things that we find is people are willing to sacrifice, sometimes in the wrong areas, in order to pay off their debt. But it is so important that you get covered. When it comes to your insurance, it's not waiting until a particular baby step. It's as soon as you find out about it, you need to get it.
Yeah, if you don't have car insurance, you need to get car insurance.
Yeah.
If you don't have homeowners insurance or renter's insurance, you need to get it.
That's right.
If you don't have health insurance, you need to get it.
Got to get
it. And put it in your budget.
Yep.
And now we'll go to work on your goals.
That's right. Don't be that person that waits. So there's that. Of course, Dave, credit cards are a huge one, but not for the reason that you might think. I mean, of course, the big argument all the time is the points. I got to get the points. But most people that come through our class, they're ready. Mentally, they've said, okay, the points don't really matter. It's more about this has become a security blanket for me. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel confident. I don't think that I can manage my money without credit cards. I've never done it before. Mm-hmm. I've never had to actually say, this is my budget. I've got $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and I can only spend that. Period. They've never had to do it. And so it's actually caused this lack of confidence and this feeling that, oh my gosh, how?
What if I don't live on less than I make?
Yeah, what happens? You mean I can't just go to Target and get that thing anyway?
Yep.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
So we're seeing, I love when people cut up their credit card, and I can see their hands shaking. I can see that there's shakiness in their voice. But then they come back and they go, but Jade, I feel so much better. I'm in control now.
For 2 decades, American Express told people, don't leave home without it.
Don't leave home without it.
And they don't think they can.
They don't think they can. And I think that's so sad. You work, I just got to say this, you work so hard. You're away from your family, your kids, 8, 9, 10 hours a day, what have you. And then you tell yourself, all this work I'm doing, all this sacrifice, it's not enough. My income's not enough for me.
I just read this 500-page biographical, unbelievable book on Daniel Boone. He left home without it. Just saying.
If he can do it, you can do it.
Just saying. Your grandparents, they left home without it.
Yeah.
Just saying. Every other country in the world, they leave home without it.
Credit cards are relatively new, you know.
Yep.
So there's that. Then there's this idea of, and don't get me wrong when I say this, willpower and discipline and all that is very important. You got to power through this. But some people forget there's like practical things that you just got to do. Like it's not, I keep all my credit cards and I just have to will myself
I'm going to white knuckle it.
White knuckle it out. I'm like, no, do some practical, get on a budget, set alarms in your phone to check your budget, text your spouse.
Your credit card.
Cut up the credit card, cancel the account,
Plastic
and then remove it.
Surgery.
Remove it from Amazon. Take it off.
Ooh, put it on. I got a debit card on Amazon.
Well, you can put that on there.
And then if I want to buy something, I can just, it's
What do you
like
know?
I have to use my money though.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That's what scares people.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's the folks, we talked about this the other day, the analysis paralysis is what you called it. I call it something else.
What do you call it?
Ask whole.
Yeah, you enunciated that carefully. I watched you.
I had to. That means you're just asking questions, man. And I get that you have questions, but at some point you have to act.
Yeah.
You don't need any more information. You just need to go do. All right. Yeah. And I get that. So those are some of the things.
Back away from the donut. I mean, it's pretty simple, you know. I mean,
that's it. Back away from the donut.
Back away from the overspending.
Yeah. Cut up the credit card. Get you on a budget.
There's something you're doing that's stupid with money, and you know it. Mm-hmm. And there's the little kid part of you that won't let the grown up do the grown up thing.
That's right. Don't be an asshole. All right.
Yeah. Inside of every one of us is the little kid on the cereal aisle throwing a fit because mom won't buy Fruit Loops.
Okay. Yeah, it exists. I have felt that to this day. You're lying to yourself. Everybody gets in that situation where you're like, oh, I want it so bad, but you can't. You got to just pull it back together, get your life right. All right. We know this one, Dave. The $1,000 emergency fund. That is
the starter.
The starter. Yep. And that's the key. It's a starter.
It's not enough. No kidding.
Yeah. I mean,
we knew that. Well,
we're
with
not
inflation.
out of touch.
Inflation's got nothing to do with not enough. It was not enough before inflation. It's not enough after inflation. It's not supposed to be enough.
It's not supposed to be. And I always tell folks, if you have $1,000, you are ahead in cash.
That you don't have sitting in your checking account about to blow.
Right. This is just a separate $1,000 set aside for specifically emergencies. You are ahead of the majority of Americans. 56% of Americans could not cover a $1,000 emergency. 36% of Americans have zero.
Last insight from Financial Peace University coordinating the last class. What'd you learn?
What does it actually take to be a millionaire? Can I actually be a millionaire? And people, I love seeing the light bulb go off and
when they see the math.
They see the math and they go, wait a minute.
I can do that.
It doesn't have to do with I don't have to be a rocket scientist. I didn't have to be a lawyer. I didn't have to be a anesthesiologist.
Mm-hmm. I don't have to be a famous rock star.
Yeah. I can be a teacher.
And still be a millionaire.
You can be a teacher and be a millionaire.
The math, it blows your mind.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'll never be in debt again because I need that money that was going to go to the F-150. Instead, we're going to put it into the 401k. We've got all these letters and numbers mixed up.
That's right.
Check it out, Financial Peace University. If you want to lead a class, we'd love to have you be a coordinator like Jade. You'll get some of these insights. Check out RamseySolutions.com/FPU. We can get you into a class and we can get you leading a class. By the way, you can go through for free if you're the leader. That's pretty cool, too. This is The Ramsey Show. We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Brittany is with us in Kansas City. Hi, Brittany. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm nervous to be here.
It's okay. How can we help?
I had a quick question. So my husband and I have had issues with buying used cars. We're not car people. And most recently, we wanted a reliable SUV, and we had it for 6 months, and the engine locked up, and we spent $8,000 on it. And so we're really looking for advice on what we should do next. It's very tempting, I feel like, to buy a new car, and because we need something reliable and we don't want to have to worry about buying a used car and issues happening to it. So I was wondering your advice around that.
What baby step are you on? I'm just curious.
I'm sorry. I'm new to Dave Ramsey and everything. So can you explain that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Do you currently have debt to pay off?
So we have $8,000 in student loans.
Brittany, I'm sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
I don't have any credit card debt.
Good.
And we have $23,000 in student loans.
And what's your household income?
Household income is $225,000.
Okay, so you're new to all things Ramsey, and yet you knew that we said don't buy a new car, brand new car,
yes.
unless you're a millionaire.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's why I was nervous about coming on the show.
That's okay. But okay. So the reason we don't want you to do that is if you tie up. Tell me one more time what your household income is.
It's $225,000.
Okay. All right. And so what was the price range of cars that you were driving that were breaking?
$8,000. $8,000 is what it cost. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now, why making $225,000 a year? I mean, given that you aren't doing Ramsey stuff, you just met us. Why were you driving such cheap cars?
Well, we had so I have my car, which is already paid off. It's a 2018 Malibu. Mm-hmm. I had already paid that off. Mm-hmm. And then my husband had a company car for the longest time, for 6 years. So he was just driving his company car.
But how long have you been making $225,000?
Only for the last. So 3 years ago, we were only making $160. Then it jumped to $225, and then
where has all of your money gone to? You make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Have you been paying down these student loans or something like that, or is it just lifestyle?
Lifestyle, I think, and we did pay off in the last 6 months. We paid off all of our credit cards. And we paid off, we paid for that used car. But
okay. All right, so
Yeah, I
here's
guess
the
it would
thing.
just be
I'm looking.
lifestyle.
Here's the thing. You guys sit down tonight, the two of you, and go, look, we got almost $20,000 a month coming in, and yet we're broke. Mm-hmm. So we need to determine what we're going to do with that income. Sit down and look at what your actual take-home pay is. It's probably more like your take-home pay is probably more like 15. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you have $15,000 a month. Do you have a house payment?
We do have a house
How
payment.
much is your house payment?
My house payment is $2,000.
Okay, so 15,000 minus 2,000 is 13,000, and I want you to continue that exercise. Minus food, minus lights and water, and I think we're going to find a disturbing amount of money, like $10,000 a month. Mm-hmm. That is available to do things with, and that would tell me that you could save up fairly quickly, like before Christmas, and buy a $20,000 or $25,000 used car, which is an absolutely fabulous used car.
And she could also get out of that student loan debt
and
too.
Pay off the student loan debt in the process. Yeah, I mean you've got, but what's happening is that you guys. Let the scope creep happen to your budget. Your lifestyle scope, the scope of your lifestyle crept up as you without because you weren't paying attention, and that's not evil or bad or lazy. Even it's normal, but what's not normal is to pay extreme amounts of attention to every dollar. The two of you together both doing that, and we lay out detailed goals of exactly what we're going to do with every free dollar we can squeeze out of this budget, and then what the next thing is we're going to do with every free dollar. And so I hear two really good big goals on this that I want to do with the first $40,000 or $50,000 that I can get out of your $10,000 a month disposable income. So that's 5 months, and that's pay off the student loan and buy a nice car.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that plan a lot.
I mean,
Okay.
see, if you just lay down and go, and what that tells you then is we're not going to go on vacation because we want to do these other two things more. What that tells you is we're not going to spend $8,000 on Christmas, for God's sakes. Right? What that tells us is that we're not going to eat out every night for $300 a night.
That's where it is right there.
You know, what this tells us is that we're not drinking any more $500 bottles of wine, which you technically can afford, but you really can't because you are broke.
Yeah.
Even though you have a fabulous income. And that's why you called us. And you're wonderful people. And you're very smart people because dumb people don't make 2 1/4. Well, a few do, but not many.
But in that same breath, a third of those folks do live paycheck to paycheck because of what you're talking about right now.
High income earning broke people. Mm-hmm. And if you look at yourself that way, then you'll go, crap, something's got to change here. Mm-hmm. I continue to do the same thing over and over again, expect a different result. Yeah. That's the definition of insanity. I thought when we started this conversation, you were driving $1,000 cars and spending $2,000 to keep them running, and that maybe you made $40,000 or $50,000 a year.
No, she's in the trap because the hard part with your situation is you make a good income, and it's so easy to lull yourself to sleep and go, oh, we got money coming in. We don't have to look at it. We don't have to think about it. We got good incomes. And then before you know it, you're more broke than the person making $40,000 a year that just keeps eyes and budgets on their money.
Yeah. You and your husband sit down tonight and say, all right, we're done. I'm done worried about a stupid broke car in a house that makes $225,000. When you finally say, I've had it, that's the phrase that happens right before you change your life.
And just for anybody listening, you can get a good $8,000 car. I want people to know you can do it.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely you can. That's very possible. Mm-hmm. I mean, she obviously got a bad one, but but you know, in your case, the cars are not the problem. The old cars are not the problem. They're the symptom of you being completely unintentional and out of control with this fabulous income.
That's right.
And that's not to pick on you. So I appreciate you calling in here nervous, and we're not throwing you under the bus. We've both done exactly the same thing, bad, dumb stuff with money too. So we know it when we see it. I know what stupid looks like. I used to look at it in the mirror. So, you know, I'm not gonna ask you to, but here's the thing. I just want to give you the power that comes to you when you start telling every dollar what to do.
That's right.
And pointing every free dollar at things that really matter more to you than going out to eat this week.
Now, Dave, what about that $500 bottle of wine?
If you make $2.25, you can drink a $500 bottle of wine. If you're not broke. If you're not broke.
All right, I might have to change.
I'll guarantee you they have. I'll guarantee you she has.
I need to make some lifestyle changes in here then. $500 on a bottle of wine?
I didn't say you had to. I said when you made a $2.25, it's an option if you're not broke. And so, you got to get to where you're not broke first.
True.
So let's have, maybe we should base this on net worth and not income. Okay. You don't want to be drinking your net worth. All right. So let's just keep that in mind.
That's right.
Wow. Well, and here's the thing, Jade. Just for you, we'll serve it with hamburger.
Let's go.
This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Thanks for being with us, America. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Kathleen is with us in Austin, Texas. Hey, Kathleen, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's up?
So I feel pretty alone in my situation. We possibly need to sell our home to move closer to my husband's job.
Okay.
But we're both 27, so I don't want to do anything stupid. Okay, so we bought this house for $387,000 in February of 2022. Since then, our property has decreased in value, not increased.
How?
To $335,000.
Who said?
The market.
No.
Realtors, the comps, all that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you massively overpay and get in some weird bidding war when you bought it?
I did not get in a bidding war. We got it from a new construction. It's what they were asking. We fell into the, we'll offer you, so much down for closing stuff. So, I think it was $380,000 after they paid closing costs. But our home has lost a lot of money over the past year, literally a year.
Kathleen, something's wrong. Because Austin, Texas has not lost real estate value.
Okay, so we're in the suburb of Austin in Kyle, Texas.
Okay, how far out of Austin is that?
Kyle is... So we're 30 minutes from downtown Austin. Okay. We are an hour and 15 minutes from my husband's job.
Yeah, but there's something wrong in this. I don't understand, because we get real estate reports from all over the nation. We work with realtors and every real estate agents in every major city, and Austin, Texas is not losing money. And 30 minutes outside of Austin is Austin from an economic standpoint. Yeah. And so I don't understand the story. You overpaid, or you've gotten bad information about what it's actually worth today.
It's potential that we overpaid. Totally. We were so this was the only home we could afford in Austin, Texas, because we moved from Memphis, Tennessee, where like everything was affordable, but crime was getting really bad in our area. So we moved as soon as we could. And when we moved to Austin, Texas, we just jumped on the house that we could afford, and Kyle, Texas was where it was. And all the homes around us right now are selling for $315 to $340.
Whew.
And it's a lot of lost equity. And we put down $87,000 when we purchased the home for a down payment. So, okay. Anyways, with all that to be said,
okay. I think I'm hearing that you rushed in, impulsively bought something in a panic, and dramatically overpaid. I think that's what I'm hearing.
I believe that's correct based off of the comps right now. I believe
because
we overpaid.
Nationally, the statistics are that Austin, Texas has gone up in the last 12 months in values, not down. And if you're 30 minutes outside of Austin, you're in Austin. Okay, that's a suburb of Austin. So you're just that area is not economically blighted. It's just not. And so that's what I want to put that out there for everybody in America, because I don't want somebody going, oh, well, that lady, no, this lady overpaid because she impulsively bought something because she was running from Memphis like her hair was on fire. And so that's what's going on. Now, back to your question, though, now that I understand how we got here. So you likely are going to lose money, but you put down a large down payment, so you won't write a check to sell it, right?
Correct. We will have about $30,000 still left if we sell the house at $335,000, which is. And
so your husband's driving an hour. He doesn't want to drive anymore. Do we sell it and move close to his work? That's what you're considering, right?
Right. So he drives about 2.5 hours a day, and we have 2 toddlers that just like ask for dad all the time.
Yeah. And when you bought the house, did you know where he was going to be working?
He did. He moved jobs. He worked with. Whenever he moved here, it was a relocation with his previous job in Memphis, and he didn't like the work.
Okay, so he took a job way far away from his family.
He says he doesn't have a problem driving 2.5 hours a day, but
I do.
I do too.
I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but you. My point is, you guys signed up for all these trips you're taking.
Yeah.
So I agree with your initial statement of we don't need to do that anymore. So is he going to stay at this job?
I mean, he likes it. So like,
what does he make?
So he makes $98,000, and I'm just a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, and not just.
I was going to say, don't say just.
Don't ever say just. What does he actually do?
He's a mechanical engineer. Right now, he works for a military company, doing private stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess the bottom line is, number one, we need to have a pattern going forward of different decision making. And because these are big decisions. Quitting your job and deciding to commute an extra hour is a big decision. Rushing and buying a home in a panic is a big decision. Okay. And so we've got both of these things we're not well thought out. So if I'm with you. I'm concerned that we're thinking this one out without thinking about the other unintended consequences. So in other words, if you guys do this and you take this hit and you move close to his work, he's staying at that job.
Right.
No more flitting around.
Yeah.
And we're going to think through stuff.
Well, here's your move. Okay. They're going to be renting because they don't have any money to put down on another home.
We got 30, but that's not much. Yeah, I don't. You may be renting. Yeah, I'm okay if you keep it and sit there and commute until you see some value not some value, till you see values go up. The values aren't going to recover because they were never there in the first place. You overpaid, but so that's the thing. Yeah.
I would love to know her neighbors, what they paid.
Well, she said the neighborhood, everybody in the neighborhood's at $315.
Well, she said that's what the houses are worth. I want to know what did they pay getting in. You know what I mean? I want to know if everybody screwed her, Oh, God, that's
very,
so
very
terrible.
strange. Very strange. Okay. Would I take a $40,000 hit
That would be
to get rid of a commute? I'd be 50-50, and I'm 50-50 right now. I hate the commute, and I hate the $50,000, $40,000 hit. I'm not sure which one I hate more.
I hate it because this is their second house. They obviously rolled $87,000 from their first sale into this one, and then they'd be walking out with little to nothing. Mm-hmm. I just hate that. Starting from scratch after 2 home purchases feels. But that being said, it's going to take them a little while living there to recoup it.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the third option is he gets a job closer to home.
Yeah, that's true. Which it sounds fairly rural.
No, it's only 30 minutes outside of Austin. There's nothing 30 minutes outside of Austin that's rural.
Oh, okay, maybe I just
it's a big city.
Okay, then
like
there you
saying
go.
30 minutes outside of Nashville.
Oh, okay, that's
you're
not
not. You're not going to be. There's nothing rural 30 minutes outside. A little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Whew.
I'm not sure, hon. I'm on the needle for you, on the bubble for you. I don't know which one to tell you to do. I do know you guys need to think through what you're creating each time you make these moves, because both of these moves you didn't think through.
Yeah, they felt frantic.
The job change you didn't think through, and the purchase of this home you didn't think through. They were both done a bit impulsively. Mm-hmm. And so if you're going to make this move, don't do it impulsively. Really think through what we're giving up and what we're trading out and why we're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what that means to his stability. You got to know he's stable at the new place, and he's going to stay there at the new place, or you don't do this for sure. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Brian is in New York City. Hey, Brian, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hello. Thanks for taking the question.
Sure.
So I'm 33. I'm single, living in New York. I have about $500,000 income with about $500,000 in cash and investments.
Good.
So thank you. With that context, I wanted to get your perspective on, how should I think about where I should be financially over the next 5 to 15, 20 years or so? And then as part of that journey, how should I think about buying a house or a condo in a very expensive area? And then how much I should allocate towards having fun or hobbies, and specifically buying vintage cars, because that's kind of an expensive hobby.
It's a good hobby. Got a few of them myself. What do you think? What's your plan? Because you've done a really good job.
I haven't really given it a significant amount of thought in terms of prepping for when I want to retire. It's really just been heads down and saving as much as I can. I would have liked to have saved more, but, it's focusing on the future. I really haven't given it much thought. I just know that I should probably buy a house, those that store the cars, but then that comes with costs, and it's like, how should I balance that between trying to retire early if that's an option?
Well, it's all about your ratios and how you're spending your money. So you said you make an income of about $500,000. Is that right?
Yeah.
So when you go to look for real estate, you want to make sure that what you're looking for is not cutting as a percentage too far into your, take home pay, which you've got a lot to work with, but you're also in a very expensive area. And so when the time comes to purchase real estate, the way that we would do it, obviously, in your situation, obviously you want to pay a large down payment, but whatever you choose, you don't want it to be more than 25% of your take home pay, so that you're leaving more of that income to do the things that you want to do. In your case, build more wealth, right?
So a good way of thinking about this is that there are 3 things you can do with money, and you always need to be doing all 3. You need to be generous, you need to be saving, investing, and you need to be enjoying it. Okay? So we've covered saving and investing. Buying a house is an investment. Investing for wealth building is there. Lifestyle would be vintage cars, enjoying, right? So you need generosity in your mix, and you could decide that. But when I work with, and I've worked with like famous people or even not famous people that make $1 bazillion, okay? Like I sat with a guy not long ago, made $15 million last year. So how do you decide what to do with that? All I want to do is put a percentage of my income towards each thing, and the total is 100. Okay, so what percentage of my income after taxes is going to go to generosity? What percentage of my income after taxes is going to go into investments? And what percentage of my income is going to go to lifestyle? And Sharon and I do that now, Brian. So, like, I got a really nice check in the other day from the publisher on Total Money Makeover. It's a big old check. And I've already know where that's going. A certain percentage, number one, 50%'s gone before I start because, government's going to take 40, and I'm going to give a tenth because I'm an evangelical Christian. My baseline generosity is a tithe in my case. And so that's 50%. Okay, 40 for taxes and 10 for that. That leaves me the other 50%, and we have that broken down, a certain percentage for enjoyment and a certain percentage for further investing and a certain percentage for further generosity out of that last 50. You follow me? And so that way when I go buy a vintage car, which, like I said, I've got a couple, it comes out of that percentage, and it's really not a very big percentage, but I'm make good money. So that little bitty percentage is still a lot of money. I can still go on really nice trips. I can still do this thing. And it's a very small percentage of my overall income and of my overall net worth, but it's still a really, really good life. And that's where you are, Brian. You make a lot of money. And so if you said I'm going to give away 10% a year, that'd be $50,000. If you said I'm going to invest 40% a year and, I'm going to enjoy 10% a year above my household budget. I'm going to take my household budget out of the $500,000 income, set aside 100 to operate. Now I got 400. And I'm going to break that down. And if you put, 10% towards 20% towards enjoyment, it isn't long before you start buying some cars with that. But you get to decide those percentages. I don't care what they are. But here, the whole point is to be intentional and touch all 3 bases.
And the percentages, it helps keep your head on straight because you're not going, $40,000, that's a lot of money. You're looking at it, you're like, oh, it's 10% or it's 20%.
Yeah. Well, the ratios tell you you're not being irresponsible with your enjoyment. Right. Or with your generosity. The ratios tell you that, hey, I'm doing a good amount towards investing, but I'm not only investing. I'm not Simon Legree, and I'm just piling up coins.
That's right.
I'm some people don't know what that is. I'm not greedy. I'm not
Scrooge
just piling
McDuck.
up. Scrooge McDuck. There you go. I'm not just piling up coins. And so, because you don't want to only invest.
That's right.
So it's a good psychological, emotional maturity, spiritual maturity exercise to have money assigned to the different areas of your life, and then you can enjoy the generosity.
And, his percentages are going to go, his percentages in New York City are not going to go the same as a percentage if you lived in.
They won't for the house. The lifestyle, it could.
Yeah.
But, a vintage car costs the same in New York as it does in Miami. So
but my point is his cost of living percentage may not go. He may make that a larger percentage because it doesn't go as far.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, you would need that. You would need more to operate for operational budget in New York City than you would in Abilene for sure. Yeah, no question about that. And
very cool though. And
you add that. So very well done, Brian. But I think that the way we work with, for instance, celebrities or athletes or whatever, and they're making 5x or 10x what you're making in some cases or more, is that exact process. And it will work for your $500,000 income as well. That idea will. And the whole thing is to be able to do each one without dread, without trepidation, without shame, because we know we have done a reasonable amount towards each, and that walks you through that. So that's very, very good.
Yeah, he's just getting started. 33 with a $500,000 income.
He's killing it. He's killing it. Way to go, man. Obviously, you're an extremely bright dude. That's very, very cool. And in our culture today, you guys, it's a good thing to run into people like Brian and be sure that you are celebrating them. Yes. You're happy for them because we have a tremendous problem with the science of envy being
Must
taught.
be nice.
It's envy or jealousy. Jealousy is I want what you have. Envy is I don't even want you to have what you have.
Yeah, that's true. The words I hate the most. Oh, he makes $500,000. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Ask him how he did it.
How about how about awesome? Way to go, Brian.
Yeah.
We didn't even ask him how he did it because all we want to do is celebrate him.
That's right. And we know he's smart. We know he's...
I'm happy for him. We assume he's not selling cocaine. We just assume that, right? So we don't get a lot of calls from the cocaine people here. Yeah. So we're pretty sure of that. So, we're sure he's doing good somewhere in the society at some level to make that kind of money. And so be happy for people. Celebrate success again, America.
That's right.
Celebrate that hard work pays off. Celebrate that being smart pays off. Celebrate that common sense and discipline pays off. Don't envy it. And don't teach your children to be Marxist. Teach them to be capitalists.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. Freaking socialism. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
It's based in envy and jealousy. And so celebrate success. Celebrate the good that a guy like Brian is doing.
That should be giving us hope.
Absolutely. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. If you are listening to this show and loving this show, help us out. Spread the word for us. Yeah, that's right. Hit the share button or tell people about it or click a link and share the link or whatever it is. However you're YouTubing or podcasting or TBNing or talk radioing, let people know where you're listening and tell them to join us. We would love to have them. Also, hit subscribe or follow or whatever is appropriate. And every time you do those kinds of things, it helps the show be automatically pushed forward on the internet and on your particular format that you're doing it, to other potential viewers, listeners. And we appreciate that because a bunch of folks have joined since the first of the year. Our ratings and rankings and all measures are way up, and that means you guys are sharing it. And leave a 5-star review, too. Thank you very much. All right, Zoo is with us in San Francisco. Hi, Zoo. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Ramsey. How are you?
Great. How can we help?
Oh, that's so great to hear. I am calling because I'm so tired of living the life that I'm living, and I need your help. So the reason that I'm calling is because I need to know, or we need to know, my husband and I need to know how to get my husband on board with the plan and care about our home finances. We got married back in April of 2020, and my husband said that he had income to bring to the marriage. We come to find out he had no money at all to come into the marriage, not even for the honeymoon. So
he wasn't working?
Our marriage...
or no savings?
But no savings.
Okay.
Nothing
so
in savings.
He made a mistake, or he lied to you?
He straight up lied completely.
Wow. To the tune of how much?
He said, I have enough money for like 6 months of expenses. He was moving from Michigan to California at that time.
And it was a flat out lie.
Flat out, completely, yes.
What else has he lied about?
Spending. He has borrowed so much money from family members, and so we have our finances together now, but it's just not, it doesn't seem to be working.
Well, because you don't trust him.
I trust him, yes. I mean,
why?
Why do I trust him? Because he's my husband.
No, no. You don't trust I have a dog. I had a dog one time that would bite you, and he's my dog, but he would bite you. I didn't trust him.
Yeah.
Even though he's my dog. This dog bites. Oh my gosh. So what are y'all doing? Yeah. What are y'all doing to build your relationship after it started on lies?
So we go to church, and we've been getting counseling at church. And every time we meet quarterly, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to change," but he has not changed one bit. It's only getting worse. And we've been trying to start your plan since the beginning of the year.
You don't need to start. You don't need to start our plan.
Hey, what's he spending money on? You said that he's spending money. He's not telling you about it. What's he spending that money on?
He's spending money on GoPros, electronics, cameras,
How
cables.
old is he?
He's 27.
Okay.
So she married a child.
Yeah.
Because
boy child.
That's what kids do. They do things they know they're not supposed to do. And then when mommy says, "What'd you do?" they lie about it. And then mommy says, "Okay, you're in timeout." And they say, "Okay, I thought about what I did." And then they go back and do the same thing again.
That's exactly, we got it to the point. That's exactly what's going on.
I'm sorry. That's frustrating.
I can't get him on our plan. Our plan is for grown-ups. So you guys have to continue and engage in in-depth counseling for your marriage. You guys, you're in a mess, honey. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry, because this guy does not want to engage anything that requires self-discipline, self-control, maturity, the ability to delay pleasure for a greater good. He is about him. Mm-hmm. He's not about you. He's not about your marriage. He's not about your future. He's about him. I can't help someone in that situation. I'd love to, but the best way I can help him is to be mean enough to him that he goes and does something good for himself and starts to grow up. Because, a man, not a 27-year-old male, but a man does not put his personal desires and purchases in a lie ahead of the good of the family and the good of his wife. And that's what you're facing.
So right.
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Me too.
I'm so sorry
really
for you.
Am.
Yeah. I wish I could, if I thought I could take you guys, if you guys were both ready to go, but the work you all the time you need to be spending is not on Financial Peace University. You need to be spending time in the marriage counselor's office. And if he won't go, your marriage counselor needs to help you decide in your church setting at what point is this marriage done? Mm-hmm. Because I can promise you it's done if he doesn't change. I don't know whether it's a decade or whether it's 10 days or 10 months, but it's but I've worked doing what I'm doing, and I know that I don't believe in divorce. I'm not telling you to get a divorce. I'm not doing any of that. But I've worked with couples long enough to know the lady in your situation will hold her breath for some period of time, and when the volcano finally goes off, there's no putting the lava back in.
I know that's right.
It's over. The switch is flipped, and we be done.
Mm-hmm.
And no amount of spiritual shaming or anything else will undo that.
I know that's right.
So please, 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 the two of you, for the good of your future, for the good of each other, spend time on getting in a good, solid, winning relationship where you're serving each other, not being selfish, being selfless, and that's and immature, and all of these things. It's so hard, so hard. Wow, I'm so sorry. So, guys, disclosing 100% in truth of who you are about money and exactly what the dollars and cents are. How much is in savings, how much is in retirement, how much you make. Really early in the dating process is a valid thing. I think because Jesus said your treasure's where your heart is. So how you handle money and where the money goes speaks about who you are as a person. Mm-hmm. It's a description of your value.
It is. And
your values, rather. Mm-hmm. And so young ladies demand that of these young males to see if they're men. Young men demand that of these young females to see if they're grown women instead of little princesses. Because you don't want this, guys. It's not fun. It's not fun. Oh, it's so sad. This is the Ramsey Show.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
Thank you for joining us, America. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Paying off debt is smart. Saving and investing is smart. But there's another key to winning with money, and that is the defense side. That's called protecting your finances. That's called insurance. There are 10 kinds of insurance coverage you might need, and no more. That's all. You don't need all this gimmick stuff and all these. I need insurance for my Chihuahua's toenails. Oh my God, you people. It's unbelievable what you get insurance on. No, there's 10 kinds of basic insurance you need. You need to self-insure with your emergency fund through everything else. We're going to help you do that with a coverage checkup to show you which types you need to add, drop, or adjust. We'll even rank your coverage list by importance, email it to you, and connect you with a Ramsey trusted insurance provider that will shop a bazillion different companies and get you the best price on each type that you do need. Go to RamseySolutions.com/checkup, RamseySolutions.com/checkup. Becky is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Becky. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Jade. Thank you both so much for taking my call this afternoon.
Sure. What's up?
So I am working on the baby steps. I have completed baby step 1, and I'm working off all of my debt. But I had a question. I feel like my car is quite possibly on its last leg, so I am wondering if I should increase my emergency fund to help to potentially cover any major repairs or possibly needing to buy kind of another reliable A to B outright without a new note.
I would start putting money aside like a sinking fund if I knew that a car repair was up and coming.
So why do you think that?
So a whole slew of reasons. It's a 2009 Camry, which obviously Camrys are very reliable, but we are inching close to 250,000 miles. I know for a fact, based on previous repair experiences that I've had, that there's an oil valve gasket leak. The idle is starting to get really, really rough. The exhaust doesn't sound good. So, I mean, a whole slew of things that are indicating that it may potentially go, and maybe within the next 6 months to a year. And I want to make sure that I'm prepared to take care of anything I need to take care of, while also not neglecting the fact that I'm trying to work off debt.
What's your household income?
Personally, I make about...
Wait a minute. I didn't ask personally. I said, are you the only income?
I have a roommate.
Okay, well, then that's not a household. I mean, if you're not married, it's you.
Okay.
So you have an income of what?
$57,500 with potential for bonuses.
And your debt is what?
I've got about $50,000 left.
On what?
40 is student loans, and 10 is a personal loan that I have mapped out that if I pay as much as I possibly can, I could get rid of it by December.
Good.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You're driving a $2,000, $1,000 car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got a $1,000 emergency fund.
There's $1,500 in it now because I did kind of start building a sinking fund, but I wanted to make sure that was the right direction to take this.
Okay, I know I do not violate the baby steps, okay? What we do from time to time is say, look at a situation and say there's an emergency. If there's an emergency, you have to stop everything and cover the emergency, all right? Now, obviously, you don't make enough money to buy a car on 1 month's income if you did this. So no, I'm not going to do a sinking fund for a car. I disagree with Jade while I'm working on the baby steps. If we're going to declare the car dying, gasping, it has a death rattle, which is what you're declaring it, then we might say we're going to stop everything.
So you're going storm mode.
And say, yeah, and say, okay, for 2 months, we're going to pile up and let's sell this $1,500 car, put $2,000 with it, and get a 3 times better car for twice the money, right?
Okay.
And then restart. Because I think you could get $2,000 together in about a month, couldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you took the $2,000 plus your car, you get a $3,500 car, give or take. And that'd be a lot better car than the one you got, probably.
Yeah, I would definitely do my research and make sure anything that I was buying outright was...
I can tell you actually have a clue about this, which is very good. That puts you ahead of the curve. So, yeah, I might do that. And then when I say that, I'm making you stop your debt snowball for a minute. You kind of went gulp because you're on it. And stopping that debt snowball doesn't sound fun. And that makes you analyze how serious you are about whether you think this car is really going to break or not.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very much a plan A, B, C, D, Z person. So.
Yeah, you're running a flow chart. I heard it. Yeah. If this, then that. Yeah. And that's good. It's good. It's a good decision-making paradigm that you're using. Your decision-making skills are excellent. So I'm okay with a full stop and upgrading car. I'm okay driving the car for 60 more days, and let's see how we're doing, staying dead on the debt snowball, no additional savings. And if it's scaring you even more, full stop. Because I think if you'll give yourself 30 days worth of notice before a car dies, you can have your other car. We obviously don't want it to die in the middle of it, okay? And then the other question that comes to mind is, does it just simply need a tune-up?
Yeah, that's also on my radar. Of the things that have been evaluated thus far, I would probably be looking at between $500 and $600.
That's a budget item. A car repair is a budget item.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that would, I might tune it up. Now, I'm not going to spend $3,000 on a $1,500 car.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can spend $200 or $300 and get rid of the coughing and the sputtering, and, whether it's cleaning the fuel injectors or whatever they're doing, and get the thing running right again, and that buys me enough time to finish off the student loan debt, boy, that would have been a good move, right? But if I do that and I find out, hey, I really got to get rid of this thing, it's going to die, then we push full stop and go get out. Let's go get you a car, and then push full go. I don't really want to play both sides at the same time. You follow me?
Yeah, not at the same time. I've got to be able to come up with a plan of attack based on
either
what
stop
exactly
and get the
is
car,
happening.
or wait a little bit and then stop and get the car, and in the meantime tune it up and see if it works. That's probably my plan. I'm probably going to take a run at the tune-up and then revisit this decision 90 days from now. And if
that is a plan I can work with.
Yeah, if I'm still really scared, then I'm going to push full stop, go get a car, and then push full start and get out of debt. Because you're not going and buying a $25,000 car. I mean, you're being, everything you're giving us is very wise. Your level of common sense is excellent. You really are on it, girl. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you so much.
So I think she's winning, don't you?
Look, she's living with roommates. She's doing what she got to do to get out of this debt.
Yeah, driving a junkie butt car. I mean, Megan.
$2,000 car, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like she said, Camrys are good cars, but they die too.
Yeah, that's true. $250,000 is a...
Wow. Okay, so cars are this. Like she mentioned A to B. See, somebody has taught her so well.
Yeah, she's smart.
That was not our phraseology, but that's exactly. A car is an A to B thing. Everything above the transportation that gets you from A to B is a luxury. Luxuries are not evil. I drive a really nice, expensive car. It's a luxury, though. It's ridiculous. But the actual transportation function is A to B, and every one of us can do that for $5,000.
Yeah.
Very reliable, and air conditioner works.
Yeah.
And get from A to B. Everything above that is luxury, and that's okay. But I need a new car when you're driving a $15,000 car is not a factual statement. I want a nicer car is an okay statement, and it's factual. But don't talk yourself into needs when they're not needs. Call them what they are, they're wants. Her case, we're dealing with need.
Facts.
This is The Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 40% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Nate is with us in Pennsylvania. Hi, Nate. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How's it going?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, I have a question for you. Kind of feels like a little bit of a dilemma that I've been feeling uneasy about. Let me start off. I'm in baby step #1, just working to save $1,000 right now. I have $32,000 in debt. I have a $15,000 car loan that I'm actually trying to sell this week. It's worth 19 private value. So hopefully that will work out for me there. My other dilemma here is that I had agreed to this vacation with my girlfriend that her parents got for us to go to Key West. And she's like, all you got to do is pay $600. My mom got us the tickets already. And I'm just feeling really uneasy about that, being that I'm on beans and rice right now, and I don't want to do anything like that. I also don't want to disappoint anybody or hurt anyone's feelings.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Tell me the trip again. Walk me through that again.
To go to,
her parents bought you guys a trip.
But not fully.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
So they announced to you that they're giving you the gift of a trip, but you have to pay for it?
Correct, for the flight.
Oh, for the flight. But when they announced that they were giving you the trip, did they announce that you were going to pay for the flight?
Yes, this was something that I was aware of, but now, moving forward, and being that I've just started the baby steps, I'm like, this is something I'm not comfortable with doing now, and I feel like I'm kind of locked into it.
Have the tickets been purchased?
What do I do?
Have the tickets been purchased?
Yes.
They purchased them, and they're asking you to reimburse them?
Yes.
And they purchased them after you agreed to this?
Yes, I did agree to it.
And then they went and bought the tickets?
Yes, and now I'm feeling uneasy about it.
Tuffy, you bought a ticket.
Stupid tax.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said, that's tough. You told them to go buy you a ticket, and they went and bought you a ticket. You owe for the ticket. You're going.
Yep. Yeah.
Sorry if you regret it, but yeah, you promised these people you're going to pay them. Let me tell you what.
Yeah,
you're dating my daughter, and you tell me you're going to do something, and then you don't do it. That's a problem.
I don't want to mess with that problem, Dave.
Right.
Yeah.
You gave your word. Now, if they sprung this on you and then expected you to pay for the ticket, well, that's them violating a boundary. But they made a proposal. They said, hey, we'll go on a trip. We'll pay for everything but the airline. You pick up your own airline, and you said, I'm in.
Yeah. But now you have buyer's remorse is really what it trickles down to.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Nate. You bought an airline ticket. You need to pay for it. You need to go on the trip and smile.
Can I ask you one more quick question?
Are you going to do that?
Yeah, you can't be a butthead on the trip because you had to pay for it.
I said, are you going to go on the trip and pay them for the ticket?
Oh, I'm going to have to, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. And be nice. Because this is what you signed up for the trip. You signed up for it. They did not do something to you. You did something to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, all right. Now, go ahead. I'm sorry. Your second question's what?
Just real quick. Now, being that I'm in baby step number one and getting ready to sell my car, I have $32,000 in debt, and I'm looking to get that down to. I owe $15,000 on it, so I'm looking to get that down to about $17,000 roughly. Mm-hmm. I'm bringing in $45,000 a year. What is going to be my timeline for getting out of debt?
How many hours a week are you working now?
40 a week.
Okay. Well, you're going to double that.
That's
double up on that, huh?
Yeah. Get your income up another 30, and you'll be out of debt in a year.
The faster, the more income, the more you have thrown at this debt, the faster it's going to eliminate.
Yeah. I mean, you're selling your car for this goal. Now go give some of your hours, give some blood to this goal, right?
I know that's right.
Some blood, sweat, and tears.
In regards to getting an A to B car, can I go ahead and get that, or do I
pay
need
cash
to wait
for it.
on that until I'm out of debt?
Yeah, pay cash for it.
Yeah, when you sell this other car, you said you're going to
get... You got to have transportation, right?
I should have $3,000 or $4,000. I do drive a company vehicle.
Then you don't need it.
Do you have to have can you use the company vehicle to go to the grocery store legally?
Yes.
So why do you have to have another car?
I guess it's not completely necessary.
Not today. No, it's. I mean, you have transportation. You're allowed. The company allows you to drive to church in the company car, or to go to the grocery store in the company car. Personal use, reasonable personal use.
Yep.
Then drive the company car. Mm-hmm. And later on, when you get out of debt, if you want to pile up the money and get you a $5,000, $10,000 car to sit in the driveway, that's fine. But this car sits in the driveway. This is a very expensive luxury.
Sure is.
Yeah, I'm already throwing it away.
Yeah. Hey, listen, let me tell you the way my mind works in this, okay? I don't want to work 80-hour weeks any longer than I have to. Mm-hmm. So if I'm you, I'm trading that $3,000 or $4,000 to shorten the number of weeks I have to work my tail end off to get the debt paid off.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. That's how my mind went when we said, do we buy another car or do we throw this 3 or 4 at it? So, hey, I sense that you're in a really key moment in your life, that a whole bunch of things are changing for you at once in a good way. There's a lot of growing up going on. There's a lot of stepping into responsibility going on. You're asking ethical questions. Yep. Lots of good things happening with you right now. I want you to continue to lean into all of this and don't pull back from it, because you may feel the fire a little bit on some of this time. This time of transformation for you, you may feel some heat at some point. Lean into the heat. Don't back up from it, because I think God's got some really cool things for you coming, Nate.
I love that.
Don't you?
Right. I believe it.
There's a whole bunch of different points in that story.
Yeah, you can tell that his priorities are shifting. He's starting to put a lot more thought into the decisions that he's making.
I think he's about to buy her a ring.
Hey. Just make sure she's on board with the plan.
But I'm thinking, I think that made him get real serious about ethics. Mm-hmm. Get not only with her parents, but with everybody. Get real serious about getting this mess cleaned up.
That'll do it.
I'm putting the house on the market. I'm so serious. I'm going to call Dave and Jade and let them beat me up if I have to. Let's go get it done. You know.
Yeah.
And he's in a cool place. I like this guy.
Good for him.
Don't you?
I do. I do.
Our question of the day comes from Neighborly, your hub for home services. Don't wait until the AC or something else goes out. Neighborly helps you find local providers like Air Service, Mr. Appliance, and Dryer Vent Wizard. Go to neighborly.com today.
All right. Today's question comes from Katie in Atlanta. What changes do you think you'd make to the baby steps for those without kids? I have no heirs to leave anything to and no reason to save for college. I need enough pay for senior care since I won't have children to help me, but if I die with millions in the bank, it seems like a fail. It's a really good question and a unique question. When I think about the baby steps, I mean, obviously, if you don't have kids, you can just simply omit baby step 5.
Agreed.
I mean, that's easy. I do think that everybody needs a will, because you should determine what happens with your things and with your stuff. You don't want the government to decide that, state or, local officials to decide that. And then I'm looking at
a pile of wealth at the end of your life is not a waste.
It's not a waste.
It gave you insurance that you had a quality exit.
Yeah.
That you had a quality people around you. And there's something you're completely leaving out, Katie, and that's the joy of generosity.
I was just going to say, I was getting to that. You don't have to. The whole point of gathering is to be able to give. It's the live and give like no one else. It's not just the live. It's not just the living part.
Yep.
So give like no one else. And this next part of the question, I feel like answers itself. I need enough to pay for senior care since I won't have children. Well, we do recommend getting long-term care at the right point, but she might not even need it.
If you got $5 million.
Yeah, she might not need it.
And you just start writing checks to nursing homes, and then, and you say the last chapter of my life, I'm going to spend going around and finding somebody that's hungry and feeding them. I'm going to spend some time making sure a kid has some shoes. I'm going to spend some, and you can go through some serious. You would have that'd be the best years of your life.
Well, and she might end up with a dude. She might end up with a husband. We don't know.
Might change the whole thing. We don't know Katie's story.
Yeah, we don't know how old she is, but just walk the baby steps as they are. Omit what you don't need, and you do need a will.
There you go. This is the Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 1 Corinthians 15:58. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Ken Blanchard said there's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to do something, you accept no excuses, only results. Yeah, just step up there, Big Ken.
That's it.
I like it. Shanna is with us in Fort Worth, Texas. Hi, Shanna. How are you?
Hi, Dave and Jade. My question is how to help my kids with their finances. They're pretty good about listening to us, but I need your advice on helping to advise them on how to be wise with their money and maybe the best place to put it.
How old are they?
I have my daughter is going to be a junior in high school, and my son is going to be a junior in college. And my daughter paid for half of her car, and we paid the other half, so it's paid off. And then she has $20,000 in her checking account.
Okay. Wow. Both of them are dependent on you.
Pretty much the junior in college is too.
Yeah, you're paying for it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's called dependent. Yeah.
Yeah. He also has a paid for vehicle and $27,000 in his checking, but he also has $250,000 in a custodial account that he didn't use for college because he has a full ride academic scholarship.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay. And my daughter will have that too, but she'll go ahead and tell you that she's probably not going to get a full academic scholarship. So she's just trying to go ahead and think ahead what to do too. Yes.
Okay. All right. So she's got a $250,000 custodial account as well?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Good.
Very good, Mom and Dad.
Well done. All right.
Thank you.
Well, there's two sets of things going on. Number one, anything that you do while you're on my payroll, I get to decide if I have to. I'm going to start with persuasion and teaching wisdom and hopefully just talk you into doing the right thing. But you're not going to do stupid while I fund the other parts of your life. Because I am not confused about who the parent is. Okay? So as long as I'm supporting you, I hold the ultimate control, the trump card. I don't want to use it with kids that old. I want to lead them with persuasion and facts into good decisions. So that's with current decisions. For instance, these kids sound like they're very level-headed. It sounds like you guys have done a great job with them. But I'll just give you a weird one. Let's say your son who's in college decides he's going to go buy a $70,000 car. Well, no, he's not. No, he's not.
Right.
Okay, we're not going to do that. If you do that, then you're off the payroll and you're 100% on your own. And we will love you, but you will be our stupid child that we love. But we're not funding squat. And, we're not going to, or he decides he's going to go join a cult or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to extremes.
I am not without controlling my ability to continue to put money in this situation. I will stop putting money in this situation. The junior in high school at home, I'm in complete control. They don't have rights except to not be abused.
And Shanna, so much of what they learn going forward as they become adults about money is going to be from you.
No, you already have. Yeah, you've done a great job.
They're looking at how you spend money. Do you spend more than you can afford? How do you guys speak about money in the household? How do you guys decide if a purchase is wise or not? They're soaking all that up like sponges.
But once I've laid that hardcore foundation under my decision-making paradigm, I'll never use it, I hope, that I was talking about. So I'm not suggesting you come in with an iron fist or something. I'm not at all. And then I'm going to start the persuasion on the day-to-day. The future of what the kid does with $250,000 when he has graduated from college with no debt and has by then $40,000 or $50,000 in his savings account, he's obviously a great kid. But if he decides to do something stupid and he's 24 years old, you have zero power. Over future decisions. Your only power you have there is persuasion.
Yeah. I feel like that's the hardest part is
it's
sitting back and letting people
It's the hardest stage of parenting when your kids are, when you have quote grown kids, which is an oxymoron. But you're when the children you have sired become adults.
Yeah.
Yes, and so and then they get to do what they want to do, even if you don't agree with it. Now I'm blessed in that our three have never done anything bizarre outside of our belief system that I had to really bite my tongue on. But I don't get to tell them how to parent their children. They parent their children.
Yeah.
Now, and I honestly, in my case, I don't even get to advise.
Not unless they ask.
Yeah.
My parents.
Now, I can set up a situation where they ask.
Mm-hmm.
I can ask a lot of questions until they ask.
I've been there.
And I've had a couple of them in different things. They were doing investments on things, and they would say, "Hey, Dad, would you sit down and be Dave Ramsey and help us with this?" I would be more than honored.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. That's a huge honor. But I can't go in there and answer questions that aren't being asked.
Right.
And that's the hardest one. So at that point, one of the things that's helped me, Shanna, in that situation is so for the future decisions, they're all in that bucket. Their decisions as adults, they're all in that bucket. I pretend like they're my best friend's kids.
That's good.
Because you can't use your dad's voice on your best friend's kids. You can only use influence. And it helps me step back and go, I'm not in control. So I can't use my dad's voice. I can use it, but it won't work. Because they just laugh it off. They go, ha, 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 he thinks he's in control. He's not anymore.
True that.
You know.
So Shanna,
my son did. He turned 18 during COVID and got interested in investing a little bit. So he started investing in a Roth and Fidelity money market.
Good.
So he's got about $3,600 in his Roth and a little over $8,000 in the money market. So
what's your plan for these custodial accounts that are going to have substantial funds left in them?
I am not sure yet. It's just more for and I guess my son can already go ahead and get to his if he
the whole
wants
thing.
to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's his. Once he's 21, it's his. Yeah.
And actually, he'll be 21 in July.
No, it's his that day. And the great news is that you don't have any big worries because these kids both seem very, very level-headed and very smart. They're not doing wild and crazy stuff, and that means that you've been working on these values that they're carrying for many years. So great job in parenting, and but be prepared for little things as they are out from under your control that you don't agree with, but aren't the end of the world, and have the good sense to swallow and just smile and love them right where they are. And they may be doing something smarter than you. They might be doing something dumber than you, but you don't control it. Your only input is influence at that point. And as far as teaching them and guiding them, I always teach young kids, little kids, all the way up through 90 years old. All of us kids, there's 3 things you could do with money. Give it, save it and invest it, and enjoy it. And you should always be doing all 3. And when in doubt, hard work is an awesome antidote to most problems. And if you can remember those 3 or 4 things, you are on your way. If you're 4 years old or you're 94, you can get through a whole lot of stuff. If you're generous, you're continually investing, and you're having some fun with it.
Yeah.
So just be doing all of that and give them the rope length to do all of those things. Good show today, Jade. Well done.
Fun stuff.
Well done, Emily, Ben, James, Zach, Andrew in the booth. Excellent job in there, guys. That puts this hour in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.